Decorative man.
Took a mess this time.
No, first month was so far.
Good evening. Welcome to our January Town Council meeting, our regularly scheduled meeting. It is January 14th, 2021. A little hard for me to say that. I'm still trying to get a grasp of the year and date, but things are moving fast. So appreciate you all being here and participating with us this evening. The pandemic continues, and we are still in a very difficult time in our town, our county, our state, and our country. And so I appreciate those of you who continue to wear your mask, socially distant, and continue to stay 6 feet apart. I think it benefits us all to support each other and continue to protect each other during this time. With that, I will ask that you join me in an invocation by Councilman Paul Hinkle, which will be followed by our pledge. And for those of you in the room, I'd ask that you stand as we recite our pledge. Mr. Hinkle. Invocation.
Okay. Let me bow our heads, please. Dear Lord, we ask your blessings on tonight's meeting, that we may govern and lead according to your holy will. Be with those who are suffering and in need as a result of the COVID pandemic. Bring healing and freedom from want to those affected, and assist our nation and the world to recover from this scourge. As we move forward in this great nation, always keep us mindful of how blessed we are because of who we are and what we represent. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, you have our agenda in front of you. I would ask if there are any adjustments to the agenda. I am going to ask for a closed session at the end to consult with our attorney. Other than that, no other adjustment.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I'd like to add, I don't know if it's the same, but a closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318-11A5, acquisition of property.
We'll add that onto the closed session. Ms. Williams?
Yes, I would like to add to the consent agenda, please.
Okay.
Let me state what I'm adding. Okay. I would like a letter sent to Iredell County stating the town of Troutman would like to void our MOU agreement for Troutman ESC Park with Iredell County Parks and Recreation Department effective immediately.
Okay. Any other changes or amendments to the agenda? Okay. If it's agreeable to council, I will accept the motion to add those items under closed session and the MOU agreement language that Ms. Williams mentioned to the consent items. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, received a second. Any other question or comment? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. With those items added, I'll ask for a second motion that will adopt tonight's agenda as amended. Is there such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, received a second. Any question or comment? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. We'll move on down. The next item on our agenda is our consent agenda, which does include 9 items on the regular agenda, but we added 8 sets of minutes, resolution for former Councilman Bryant, as well as the letter to Ardell County ending the MOU for Parks and Rec. Is there a motion to approve our consent agenda?
I'll make that motion that we approve our consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, received a second to approve our consent agenda. Any question or comment? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Our consent item. The next items on the agenda are recognitions and presentations. The first item is the recognition resolution recognizing the distinguished service of former Councilman Paul Bryant. He was not able to be here tonight. And I will read the resolution. Yes, if that'll work.
Well, I'll try it again. Straight to his voicemail.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he's watching on the live stream.
He
But
said that he was going to be.
yes.
How are you, Mr. Bryant?
Thank you for calling me this evening.
Hang on, sir, I'm trying to get it to the speaker. Go ahead, Mr. Bryant.
I said thank you for reaching out to me and allowing me to participate tonight remotely. And I appreciate that gift from all council and from our mayor.
Great. Mr. Bryant, we are going to read your resolution recognizing your service. It states, whereas Paul R. Bryant, appointed to the Troutman Town Council on September 23rd, 2016, to fill an unexpired term. At the fulfillment of that term, he was elected to the Troutman Town Council on November 7th, 2017, sworn in on December 14th, 2017, and served until his resignation on December 4th, 2020. And whereas during this time, Mr. Bryant was seated on the town council, he selflessly served the town of Troutman as the delegate to the Central Carolina Council of Governments from October 2016 to December 2019, and as the delegate to the Lake Norman Regional Transportation Commission from December 2019 to December 2020. And whereas during the time Mr. Bryant served on the Troutman Town Council, he encouraged growth, capital improvement projects, downtown redevelopment, and was contributory in budgetary matters. Whereas Mr. Bryant was instrumental in the rewrite of the personnel and classification plan, the rewrite of the town's unified development ordinance, the development of the strategic master plan. And now therefore be it resolved, the town council of the town of Troutman acknowledges and greatly appreciates the dedication, leadership, expertise, and knowledge that Mr. Bryant has provided to the town of Troutman and its citizens. Signed this day, January 14th, 2021. And this is your plaque, and I don't know if you can see it, but we have it here, and I will personally deliver it to you. So thank you for your service.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, council. I'm humbled to be recognized by the board. And as I said in December, it's been a real privilege to serve our community these last 4 years and to serve with each of you. Under our stewardship, Troutman is on the path to a bright, vibrant future, a future of accelerating growth and prosperity. Thanks again to each of you for leading the way to the future that we all envision, and I look forward to watching the growth, and I look forward to participating in the future when this COVID thing is behind us and life turns to some semblance of normalcy. I had the opportunity earlier this afternoon to speak with Ms. Harris. I just couldn't be more tickled to see her join the board. I think that she will bring a tremendous amount of vitality and to her activities for the town. As she said, and I believe her, she has a big personality, and she's going to be a real addition, and it's great to see another woman on the board. So lend to the diversity and to bring youth to our town council. So I won't belinger this anymore. Again, I thank you so much for the recognition, and thank you, Mayor, for your willingness to drop off the plaque at some point in the future. But I hope that this situation, the quarantining, is all behind us in the next few months. God bless all of you. Have a great evening, a good meeting. Yes, I'm watching, but I'm anxious to see how we move forward. I'm sure it'll be terrific. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Wyatt. The next item on our agenda is the oath of office for our newest council member. As Mr. Bryant said, we are ecstatic and looking forward to Ms. Harris joining us on the board and fulfilling all the mission that she has for herself and for the town. So with that, I'll ask that put your right hand on the Bible. Put your left hand. I'm going to read the oath, and at the end, I will just ask you to say, "I do." Do you, Lena L. Harris, solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and the laws of the United States, that you will be faithful to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, and that you will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of the United States, the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of your knowledge and ability, and that you will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Town Council of the Town of Troutman according to the best of your skill and ability, according to the law, so help you God. Welcome. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, look forward to seeing you all both, joining now Councilwoman Harris throughout the town as she provides service. And we appreciate you all lending her to us and giving us an opportunity to allow her to serve with the town. So thank you all for that, and we're ecstatic to have you, so welcome.
Thank you.
And you can now take your seat front as well. Ms. Harris, I would give you the floor if you'd like to make any comment before we proceed with the rest of the meeting.
Very briefly, I'd just like to say thank you for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to serving.
Awesome. Thank you. With that, we will move on with our agenda. The next item on the agenda is standing reports. And one report that we have tonight is our ABC store quarterly report. We've got our manager here, so we'll give her the floor.
Do I have to go there?
Yes, please.
Good evening, Mayor Young, council members, and town staff. On behalf of the Troutman ABC Board, I thank you for the opportunity to update you on the Troutman ABC store's performance for the year end of the second quarter, October through December of 2020 to 2021. Our sales continue to be considerably higher than the corresponding quarter or months of the previous year. On December 1st, we began our 5th year of operations. As the end of December, we have generated net sales of $7,161,890 since opening on December 1st, 2016. December was our best month yet, with the sales of $294,180, and that's up 41% over last December. Since opening, we have generated $450,189 in profits after distributions. As of December, we have made distributions of $160,381, $125,414 went to the town, the ESC parks, library, and schools. Then $19,153 to the Troutman Police Department, $26,814 to DASI for alcohol and drug treatment. Second quarter highlights. The net sales for the second quarter was $691,395. That's up 34% over the second quarter last year. The operating expenses averaged $28,833 per month. We had a 20% increase over last year's expenses due to increased payroll, increased credit card processing fees, and the distributions increased. Second quarter net profit after distribution was $49,047. And that's up 86% over the second quarter last year. The second quarter distributions are $19,838, which is divided up between the town, the ESC park, the library, and the schools. $29,002 for law enforcement. And $4,062 for alcohol education to DASI. Our retained working capital at the end of the second quarter is $350,378. Our maximum allowed is $414,071. January and February are historically our lowest months of the year. January is off to a slow start, so we are forecasting $190,000 for the month. The budgeted review for this fiscal year is $1,742,824. The revised forecast based on our second quarter actual revenue is currently $2.55 million, which is up 46% over budget. The budgeted profit is $148,220 before distributions. The budgeted distributions are $67,664. We're on a profit trajectory based on the second quarter performance to be at $240,000 before distributions, and then would be roughly $110,000 for our future distributions. We're at full staff with no reasons to add additional payroll for the coming year. And if you have any questions.
Right.
I don't have a question, I just got a comment. I'd like for you to go back and thank the board and yourself and the staff for the terrific job that our ABC store in Troutman is doing. We're very proud of the job and the amount of money that you're raising for the police department, the library, the park, and the drug and alcohol programs. I personally thank you.
Thank you.
And I second his comments.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, I'm just going to say it's hard to believe 5 years now.
I know.
I remember, along with our now town manager, mayor back then, you know, kind of sweating, looking for property and how we're going to do this and how we're going to do that, but it got done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the individuals that were involved back in 2016 who got it done, and it continues to get done, and we increase year over year beyond our wildest dreams. And I couldn't be, as Mr. Bryant said a while ago, I couldn't be more tickled myself concerning our ABC store.
Thank you.
I will concur with Councilman Al. Thank you very much, and to the staff, thank you for your hard work. And pass that along to Leighton and the board members, the ABC board members. Again, thank you for your hard work, diligence, and effort, and which has been proven through the numbers.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Please send our regards. Thank you for all your hard work. It shows. So I would say, similar to our other council members, it's the same for all of council. So we appreciate your time and your hard work.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is public comment. Public is invited to address the council with comments and concerns. However, due to, again, as I stated in my opening comments, we are in a pandemic, and so we've had limited participation in person. However, we do invite persons who would like to send us comment via the live stream chat, or you can send an email or personal mail to the town. And so I'll ask our clerk if there are any mail messages. Okay. I'll ask our IT professional if there are any live stream chat comments.
Just some appreciations.
Great. Thank you. Okay, the next item on our agenda is new business. We will
Mayor, I think there may be somebody here.
Anybody? Okay, great. Like to comment to council?
Hi, council. My name is Frederick Foster. I'm a council member in the city of Statesville. I'm here tonight to congratulate give y'all congratulations on your appointment, Ms. Harris, and also your town manager. I know both of these people, and I know they're going to do a fine job for you. So I'm just here as a good neighbor to congratulate both of y'all and the council. And hopefully one day we'll continue to work together as the City of Statesville Troutman in mutual aid. Thank you.
As always, we welcome our fellow elected officials anytime. And so feel free to come, and appreciate the congratulations for Ms. Harris. And you've known our manager for a while, I'm sure. And,
Yes.
Please wish us luck.
All right, thank you.
So,
Y'all have a good night.
Councilman, I just want to say, I've been on council a long time, worked with Statesville off and on. Congratulations on being elected to the council #1, but
Thank you.
I want to concur with what you say. Troutman looks forward to working with Statesville City Council. It's not always been a really excellent relationship, but I look forward to becoming one in the future, and through the efforts of our mayor and town manager, we hope to achieve that. And what's good for one is good for the other, and
Yes, sir.
in that vein.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
for coming.
Yeah, have a great evening. Thank you for reminding me that, Gary. I appreciate that. The next item on our agenda is new business. It's consideration of any appointments for council. This is the beginning of the year, and we've had a new appointment and some vacancies on some various committees. And so we've got the appointment of a delegate and alternate delegate to the Central Ina Council of Governments, the appointment of an alternate to the Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization, and a appointment of delegate to the Lake Norman Transportation Commission. And lastly, an appointment of one voting delegate for the 2021-2022. Actually, we've already done that last one, so it's just the three. So with those three appointments, council, I would ask if there's any one of these open positions that you would like to volunteer for. I'm all ears.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I think on Monday, it was mentioned that the CRPTO, which you are the delegate and our Mayor Pro Tem Paul Hinkle is the alternate, and I'm going to guess it's going to stay that way. And you talked about, since that's dealing with transportation, how the two have to mesh and communicate. I didn't know if Paul was interested in doing the transportation one himself. If not, I would be interested in doing that.
Talking about the Lake Norman?
Yes,
Okay.
no, but if you are,
No, ma'am. No, I was going to offer if no one else was interested. But
okay,
if you're interested, I'm all for you doing it,
okay.
if you're interested.
Okay. So that would mean that, Paul, if you're accepting to continue as the alternate to CRTPO, that Ms. Williams would be the delegate for the Lake Norman Transportation Commission.
And I would be good with carrying on the Central Iowa delegate. Since we only had the one in-person meeting of last year, the rest of them were Zoom, but Eddie was an alternate who did the last one for me.
Okay.
So I'm good with
Being the delegate. Okay. So that means I need an alternate delegate to the Central Ina.
So
Or
Eddie didn't want to
is
do
Eddie-
that?
Eddie, are you still open to doing that, or?
Yeah, I'll work with George as his alternate delegate.
Okay. All right, you get out of it this time, Ms. Harris. You
But
better,
it'll come up again.
Believe me, we have other things coming up.
Yeah.
We got you eyed for.
yeah, you won't get out of many, but you got lucky tonight. All right, so let me make sure I read these correctly so I got them correct. The appointment of delegate and alternate delegate to the Central Ina Council would be Mr. Harris and Mr. Now. The appointment of alternate to CRTPO would be Mr. Hinkle. The appointment of delegate to the Lake Norman Regional Transportation Commission would be Ms. Williams. If that is the case, I'll accept the motion to approve all those appointments as one vote.
I would make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made. Receive the second. Any other question or comment? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is comments from council and staff. I'll open it up to council members first for any open comments. Start with
Any
Ms. Williams.
particular order?
I'm going to start with Ms. Williams this time.
Well, I'd like to say, I was going to say this on Monday because it was closer to the day, but, and our chief's not in here, but we do have a retired county, a retired policeman and a deputy sheriff that Law Enforcement Day was this past Saturday, the 9th, and hope everyone went out of their way, and not just on Saturday, but every day to thank someone. That's a very, I'm sure, thankless job, but truly appreciate it. Also, I noticed when the county commissioners, when it was put in the paper, what happened at their meeting the first of last week, that they voted to redo their contract with Lisa Valdez, their attorney. And I didn't know that you do that ever so often, because I've never known it to happen here. So I didn't know how that works. And do we normally have a specific time limit contract, and do we ever so often go through and renew it or whatever?
Yeah, I've never known us to sign a contract with you.
No, we've never had one. Statute just simply says that the city attorney serves at the pleasure of the council, so we just have had, I think when I initially started, probably 20 years ago, we set a fee. Several years ago, it changed it a little bit, but other than that, we just loaded along.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to do one,
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do, but we've just never done
No,
it.
never done. Mhm.
I just wondered, because I
Okay.
happened to see that they did that, so,
Okay.
and like you know, you've been here as long as I have,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I've never
I-
known us to
yeah.
do it.
It's,
So I asked the
to
question.
my knowledge, no. It has not been done, starting with Fred Chambly and John Massey, and then now. It's never been done. It's kind of, like I said, it's just kind of more of a handshake gentleman's agreement, if you will, than anything else. Obviously, if that's not what we want to do, that's fine, if that's the will of the council. I mean, either way, I've got no objection. But as far as history, it's just, in fact, Fred resigned, so that took care of that situation. As far as, going to the next attorney, John resigned, and now, we have, our current town attorney, and it's just been like that, as he said, since the 90s. So if we want to change it, that's fine. We'll leave it as, that's fine.
I was
but
just
either way.
curious about it.
Excuse me?
I was just curious
Yeah,
about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
That's all.
anything else? All right.
I mean, do you want to know my terms, or how I'm done? I can tell you that too, if you'd like to know.
Sure, that'd be great.
It's a $500 monthly retainer. That covers me coming to this meeting. It also covers, and I mean, typically, most of the meetings, that covers a lot of time. But it also covers, I get phone calls all the time asking typically quick questions. And that's why I have this rule of thumb, that if it takes me just a few minutes to answer the question or to look it up and answer the question, like Kim called me today about the oath night. I had checked the statute just to make sure, called her back, probably took me 2 minutes. I don't charge for those kinds of things. When I really have to do some work, which typically means I've got to start spending, 20, 30 minutes on it or longer, then I just simply charge an hourly rate of $175, which is my normal. Once somebody came and hired me, I charge $300 an hour. So I've always felt like part of what I do is a public service. So I've always charged the town. I think I started at $150, now $175.
Thank
Mary,
you.
what about special meetings? I know your regular meetings included in the retainer, but what about special call meetings, things like that?
I apply my hourly rate.
Okay.
Because the retainer typically covers this meeting completely, and then, like I said, all the various and sundry questions and answers I have to do.
Is Board of Adjustment included?
Pardon?
Board of Adjustment, is it included?
Yeah, I mean, I charge hourly on that, like Board of Adjustment, something like
Gary, if you don't mind, could you maybe put that in writing for us?
that. Okay.
We can share that, just pretty much what we just talked about with the
All right.
council. Mr. Hinkle, any items?
Not right at the moment, sir. I can't think of anything right at the moment.
Okay. I'm going to give you a moment to think about yours, Ms. Harris. Mr. Now?
Yes, I just have a couple quick things. I'd like to welcome Councilwoman Harris. I'm looking forward to working with you and serving with you, so welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
I got a couple phone calls regarding our live streaming, and it is, like I told I'd like to thank Paxton for getting it finally straightened out, and everybody says it's terrific. You can hear, you can see, so that makes it great for our residents and our citizens. And another comment, the people that called me, they were very happy and very proud, and they said our new town manager did a professional job handling his first town meeting, and I'd like to thank Mr. Wyatt with that. They said the difference, the town manager running the meeting was tremendous. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Harris?
Okay, again, I'd also like to welcome Felina. And I was telling her I saw her on Facebook earlier. We were both watching my grandson and her son playing ball for Troutman Middle School for mine's first year. And it was kind of exciting to do that. So she both, like me, takes time out to do those things with sports and with the kids. So that is something I admire about you. And the other one, I'd like to thank the town manager for giving me communications earlier this morning when we had a couple things coming up that's a little bit different. That I was kind of surprised I actually get a message from the town manager saying this is something coming up. It's kind of good to hear that before I hadn't heard anything from the town manager. So I was like surprised. And then the other is Adam and whoever else was involved. We got the school signs been updated on Rumpel Street to what should be the standard down in front of Gordon Mayfield's house, and a couple gravel issues that were left over at Ken Sherrill's that didn't get done. And he was very appreciative that finally, after all this time, Carolina Paving walked away at the agreeing to, when they changed the pole, decided to stay with it, they were putting gravel back that they took from him, the yard fix it. And Adam got it done here recently, and Ken is more than pleased. That's all I have.
Okay. Ms. Harris, any comments you'd like
Just
to make?
Really quick, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all for the warm welcome. I am excited and ready to get to work in this capacity in Troutman, so thank you again. Funny, I started already receiving emails from people and messages from people, hey, since you're gonna be in that role. So of course, those are gonna be things that I have to weed out and then bring before the council if I feel like that's necessary. But I guess I'm really literally hitting the ground running, so
Good.
that's all.
Great.
It's definitely not for an introvert. It's for an
No,
extrovert type job.
Absolutely not.
I would say feel free to reach out to any of the council members and staff on any questions that come up that you need to try to figure out how to handle. We're here to help and work together as we talked about on Monday, really as a team atmosphere, and we'll all hear things and interact with citizens in different capacities, and so feel free to work with any other fellow council members and staff on trying to get those issues addressed. So don't feel like you're on the island. You got to try to do it all by yourself. So, yeah. I've got one letter here that came in the mail, and I'll read it. Your thoughtfulness meant much more than any words can say, and it's to the members of Troutman Town Board. Thank you very much. We wish to extend our heartfelt appreciation for the past honors, Community Service Award honoring Vernon Red Overcash. Thanks again, Jackie. I believe that's Fran. Maybe that's Tracy. Maybe you can see the other ones on there.
Tracy, Celeste, Deanne, and Antonio.
Awesome. And that's for the service award that we did for Mr. Overcast. So she sent a thank you letter, and any of you who'd like to see that, welcome to. January 18th is the Martin Luther King Day of Service. It's approaching. The Day of Service is observed as a day on, not a day off. It is intended to empower individuals, strengthen communities, bridge barriers, create solutions to social problems, to move us closer to, as Dr. King's vision was, a beloved community. In my day job, one of the things that a real pillar of what we do is feeding the hungry, and we say hunger has no cure. And although we're in a pandemic, I would encourage council as well as the community to continue to find ways to provide service to our community, whether it's volunteering at a shelter or assisting someone that is in need. I would ask that on Monday you find the opportunity to do that in remembrance of that MLK Day of Service. So I wasn't able to be here, excuse me, when Mr. Wyatt was accepted his oath. Apologize for that. My wife had a doctor's appointment, and so I want to welcome him officially here. He made it through our agenda briefing, and this being town council meeting, a lot's going on, and so you've hit the ground running. We appreciate that, and look forward to your continued service to the town. I know you'll do well. And Ms. Harris, as I said earlier, we look forward to you being part of the team and helping to provide service to the town. I've got to figure out how to understand these two Harrises here, Mr. and Miss Harris, and
That's how I plan to introduce them, Mr. and Ms. Harris.
exactly, right, yeah.
He's gonna be left out.
Yeah, he might have a little to say about that. Yeah, we'll figure that.
Dominate the board now.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. So that's my comments at this point. Mr. Wyatt, comments from you and staff?
Yes, sir. We had a couple things just to make council aware of. We of course had the weather people told us last week that we was going to have a snowstorm, and anticipation, the staff all across, from the law enforcement side to the maintenance side to Parks and Rec, and even administrative staff inside, prepared for the storm. It's not just as simple as saying it's going to happen and us do nothing. We even thought that it'd be appropriate that we make a phone tree call to the citizens and let them aware. We had several favorable comments from it and a couple not so nice ones because they were anticipating the snow once I promised it. And I said, well, it was not a promise. I was just doing what the weatherman told us. But I'm thankful to the staff for doing very much hard work. Paxton went around putting the salt and the slag around town hall in case that it did come. But it was a good practice run for us, and that's the way we like to look at it. It was a good practice run so that we did get some equipment and some things ready. Thankful that no one was injured that we're aware of in the citizens or staff, and that we didn't get the weather. But we did prepare for it. On the flop side, on the maintenance and side, we did have a pump go down in December. It's going to take a little hit to the budget, but Steve, Adam, and I discussed today, we're going to have some repairs there, just so you all know, to get a pump system repaired. We are looking at some options on that side, just to keep you all abreast on because of the good report that you all received last month, because of some rebate situations that may be happening this time of the year and vehicles. We are looking at just the possibility of may coming to you all in advance next month of trying to take advantage of the rebate situations and either looking at closeout models from last year or low interest rates this year because of the great report that we got, and trying to move up a vehicle, and we'll give you more on that if that turns out to be a situation we could take advantage of next month. Also, I need you all to please consider at this point in time and checking with new Council Lady Harris. We had anticipated that the pre-agenda of doing a planning retreat on the 19th of February. Unfortunately, that date will not be good for Council Lady Harris. She has a prior commitment, and I think we had discussed tentatively most Fridays were good for most of council in February. I would like to suggest, unless anybody has a conflict, of February 26th, if you all would check your calendars. If that date caused no harm, I have already confirmed with staff. And again, just to remind you all, just because of the COVID situations we have, they are anticipating lessening some restrictions outdoors, but not indoors. The indoor restrictions are anticipated because of the alarming numbers that we have had reported throughout the state of staying as restrictive. Of course, it being that many weeks away from now, we can't see into the future of what that is. But again, just to remind you all of conversation and bring Council Lady Harris up to par with that. I can't recall what all she got to hear and did not get to hear at the pre-agenda, but typically, ma'am, we have gone to Lake Norman State Park and done it there, but that is taxing to the staff to go down there to take all of our equipment and things that is needed under the COVID restrictions. If we went down there to move everybody down there, and then it'd be limited access because of the COVID restrictions, my suggestion is that we simply do it here. Again, you see the numbers that we're allowed to have under the governor's orders now, and this way town staff can still do their normal duties and functions, and we can bring people in one at a time as we need them, and trying to keep, depending on weather, of course, we can still have boxed meals brought in for breakfast and snacks brought in for brunch or break time in the morning, various coffees and drinks for those things, and a boxed lunch brought in so that food can be taken that way and safely ate. And we've got different areas here that people can eat outside and or in offices. But this way, as council needs people, they can come and go. If we need to have them back and forth, Steve Shealy being a prime example, he may need to be called in here 3 or 4 times but that way, if it was at Lake Norman State Park normally, he would be there all day, but here you all may need to ask him a question for each department head, but he don't need to be in here the whole time. That's why I suggested it be here instead of us going normal places out, depending on the weather. We do have options if the weather is warm and pretty. We can take it off-site, but still be fairly close. And we can take that by ear to where it would not be as taxing. My only concern with that is, again, for example, if we went down here to our own pavilion, then we get into an issue of the public walking up on us and us not being able to restrict that. Having said that, it's up to you all's pleasure as to what date you would like and what location.
For folks, is the 26th, first of all, as a date, is that still available? Mr. Harris? Mr. Harris, okay. Location, everybody's still good for here? Okay, all right.
Town Hall, the 26th, Mr. Mayor?
That sounds right.
Also, earlier, Mr. Harris had mentioned the school crossing. We should have been contacted when the subcontractors were actually doing that work. For whatever reason, we did not get notified. Emily Watson noticed it this evening, and you all know how tedious she is on performance of work. She called me down this evening, and I went and looked. Some of the lettering there is not up to staff standards, so we will be following up to see why. They did not follow our simple directions on that. So we are appreciative that they were doing the work, but we will follow through to make sure that it is going to be up to standards that we expected them to do.
Looks better than that little one side.
Yes, sir. It's better than that.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's a faded effect that they have even in what they did, is the best way I can describe it. Some of the letters is not fully painted. It could be that it was too cold when they painted it. I don't know what excuse they will have.
It did it Tuesday, I think.
Okay.
Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. But we will definitely follow up on that and try to make sure that it gets up to the standards. And also, the yellow striping is not done on that section yet. So we will follow up with that just so that all of council is aware on that project.
Who did that project?
I'm sorry?
Who did that project?
Honestly, I don't know.
Maymead, I think it was Maymead.
I think Mamie did the part that everybody was satisfied with. And
Yeah, Carolina.
Oh, Carolina Paving did it first.
The section from my house and down through there, and it didn't have a stripe in it or anything like that. Then him and his daughter came back, he's younger, about 12 or so, they drove that thing down and put the school on that one side of the street.
yes,
It was kind of afterwards, and then, like at Ken's, they just, yeah, we'll be back, and they never did.
right,
And Kim was just gonna write it off, I said, no, you're not.
right,
So I talked to Adam, and he said, we've got enough ground, we can get it done.
right. Yes, Carolina Paving is absolutely the contractor that did the paving.
They did the first street,
Correct.
yes.
That's all I have.
Can you, which pump went bad on us?
I'm sorry?
Which pump went bad on us?
Honestly, I can't, I can go to my email and get
That's
it.
fine, I just, thought, okay, that's no problem, no problem.
You mentioned that it's gonna be expensive to fix it. Do you have a ballpark figure?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
You mentioned that it was gonna be very expensive to fix the pump. Do you have a figure?
Yes, ma'am. It's estimated it's gonna be about $16,000 for a new pump. It's a newer style pump. The original pump, just like what we have, is $30,000. To rebuild the existing pump was about, and a new pump is a 5-year warranty, just like the one we have. But to get the rating that they have with the newer design, and it does not make sense to laymen, but it's a newer design pump. Let me back up. The exact same style pump that is there, to order it comes from out of country, and it takes 3 to 4 months. But a newer design pump that is already in the United States still takes 4 to 6 weeks, but it is a smaller pump, but it is still rated to do the same flow capacity and handle the same amount of work, but it has the same warranty as the other pump. That one is $16,000, but has the same warranty. So to us, that made common sense in reviewing what it is rated to do and how much work it will do, and has the same warranty. Then the rebuildable pumps that has the main parts to do was $12,000, including the labor to take it off, put it back on. And the main parts that are being repaired, they only have 2-year warranties, but there are parts in there that are 10 years old in the existing pump, the windings of the pump, that if they went bad, then we've wasted that much money and the whole thing is null and void. So the current budget and extras that we have there, and talking with the finance officer, we have somewhere around $10,500 in that budget for repairs. So we will wind up about $5,500 short in the current budget for that total project. That don't mean we'll be short for the entire year yet. It's just where we are at this moment in time to give you full disclosure. Yes, ma'am.
You have a backup, I guess?
Yes, sir.
In the meantime?
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
No, sir.
I did neglect to say a couple of things. And our Mr. Now, looking over him, reminded me of this. The state of North Carolina has came out with new guidelines pertaining to who is eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. And so residents who are 65 years of age or older are now eligible to be vaccinated. And so if you're looking to be vaccinated, please reach out to the Department of Health. I know they have a schedule system that they're working on. I hear a little bit mixed reviews on how well that's going. And I know they're doing some of them over at Mazeppa Park, and they are asking for any volunteers or people who can assist them in making sure that those vaccines get taken care of. I am outside that range, by the way, so I haven't been vaccinated. But anybody who is at that age range, you can be vaccinated. And I would encourage, I ain't far, but it's all
What was
good.
the age again, Mr. Mayor?
65.
65.
Yeah, they initially started at 75, and around the country, they do have a little bit more supply, and actually a little bit lower demand. So we're, for those folks who are eligible, want to get vaccinated, they can do so now.
I saw, I think Kim sent out about a conference call tomorrow with the League of Municipality League.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be on that to see, they were talking about the towns, and when they're gonna go to CVS and Walgreens.
Mhm.
I thought, look, that's gonna be some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Give us some information about the town. When we can see vaccinated.
I was going to ask if,
Is anybody gonna be on that?
if not, the league usually publishes it. And so if not, maybe we can get that information put on a website, or figure out how we can help communicate that out to the community. And I know the Ardagh County Health Department has a lot of that information as well.
So I'm sorry, I was gonna say, did you get that email that the league sent out?
No,
Kim
sent it.
said.
Kim said, okay, well, Kim, excuse me then. Okay, so everybody got that.
Yeah, we all.
Okay, well, okay.
I thought, all of it would be in there just because to me, but we get an overview of when we can start seeing some vaccines from around the towns and stuff.
To add to what you're saying, Mr. Mayor, I communicated with the county today. They have 4 sites that are actively doing these shots for COVID. And as Mr. Councilman now said, yes, they have lowered the age. One of the concerns that I had, and having people called here to town hall asking about it, we had a fiasco of a situation where they was doing these shots at Stumpy Creek, and a lot of situations to where senior citizens were waiting multiple hours and did not get shots, and there was no communications, and it really caused harm to some of the citizens having to wait that many hours. The county assures us that they are working on a better system and trying to get that done and trying to identify locations to get it handled in the future. But the email that came out from the county health department says, for example, Iredell County Hospital is one of the sites that's doing the shots, and they're issuing, I want to say it was 3,000 shots, but it don't tell people how they can be one of these people. So that's one of the requests that I made on the town's behalf and on you all's behalf as council, is to give us information so that we can help disseminate that to the citizens, of telling them how do they do that, so that they don't wind up in one of these situations to where our citizens are having to wait for hours not knowing anything. How is it a lottery system, or are there conditions that they can qualify for, get a letter from a doctor or whatever it is, so that they can wind up in, I mean, if they're gonna send a letter that says, we're giving out shots, well, how are these people getting on that list?
Right.
Because nobody could give me that answer when I called the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of sad to see what, North Carolina was kind of like one of the worst issued shots out.
The 10th.
And Louisville, West Virginia is like one of the best.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In fact, my daughter-in-law got a call yesterday to go to Thomas Memorial and get a shot next week. So she did that.
I was gonna say, my daughter got her second shot yesterday at hospital.
Then it's like, I don't know what it is, the state's got somewhere behind this.
Yeah,
But-
they're playing catch up.
Yeah.
But they're not the only states that deal with it. Quite a few of them. They're all.
I was gonna say, to piggyback on what Doug just said, Hebron Baptist Church was another, and up, off of Turnersburg Highway North 21. People were there at 5 o'clock in the morning to get shots, and you had people, and as I say, I don't do social media, but here's some of the people that do. People were complaining that, they got up there like 8 o'clock and they were already out, made a trip for nothing. Listening to local news, you've got some counties that when people go online to sign up, they're telling them April before they can sign up.
Right, I heard that today.
And on and on and on. And I agree with what you say. The departments of health, not but all of them, they need to get pertinent, accurate information out, how to sign up, and to come up with a way to do sooner than 2 and 3 months down the way. A lot of damage can be done in 2 or 3 months. I mean, all we heard for months was get the vaccine, get the vaccine. We've got the vaccine now, but it's just not getting into people's arms quick enough.
Right.
So that's the problem, and I do have a family member, by way of my wife, that got his this morning. However, he had to be there at 5 o'clock. He and his wife had to be there by 5 o'clock, and they were still sixth in line. But by the time they left, it was crowded, and I imagine not everybody, so, and they weren't going to start getting the shots till 10 o'clock. And so anyhow, it's a very confusing, fluid situation that the health departments and leaders are going to have to come up with some better ways of getting information out to people. Because as you say, they keep saying the vaccines are there, but people are having problems signing up to find out spots to get the injections and get the needles in the arms. So yeah.
Well, anything that you all can do to help communicate that out as you get that information for our citizens, be great. So
I
thank
spoke to a citizen here in town the other day, and she and her husband got their shots. And when they got, I don't know where she went, but when they got the shot, they made the appointment right then for the second one. So that's how the second ones are coming along. Now, this morning on the radio in Mooresville, wherever they were giving the shots out, they had announced that there was a 4-hour wait. People, it was dark, people were already in line, and if you did not get a number, when you get there, you will not get the shot. So, I mean, that's all the information they gave. So they're not distributing it very well.
No, no.
All right. All right, well, I will help try to send that message. Again, I think they're also looking for volunteers, so anybody who is willing to help volunteer to do that would be great. The last item I had, so the next item is on the agenda is a closed session. And we've got a couple items on there, one pursuant to General Statute 143-318-11A-3 to consult with an attorney, and the second was 143-318-11, and I'm gonna look at Mr. Now to give me the property.
A5.
A5 to discuss property acquisition. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, received the second. For the closed session, I guess we just need